I'm just not doing recycling just for the sake of recycling. Giving another life or finding, worth out of something which is apparently nothing, means a lot to me. Because that's how we elevate things, to another level. Hi, my name is Khalil Chishtee, and I was born and raised in Pakistan. I live in Brooklyn, New York, and I make art out of trash bags. I started doing art even before going to the formal school. So I started making drawing, and I was very good in that. I was very good in, making anything which I would see. And then from there I started painting, moved to oil painting. And then, I was like, this is the first ever hobby that ever was known to me. And still it is, my favorite hobby and profession. And then later I studied art. I did my undergrad from National College of Arts, Lahore, Pakistan. And after that I moved to US. And then I did my master's from Sacramento State University, California. That's how, and I'm now here in New York. When I was doing my undergrad, my major was sculpture. So, from my interest moved from painting to sculpture to make something which which can take space, which can sort of, not just an image on the canvas or anything, so which can really occupy space the way I do, So in a way, I wanted to create more friends for me, I didn't start working in recycled material as like recycled material. For me, it started way too earlier. I always felt bad for anything which is thrown away. So I always wanted to give it a more, another life. For me, even from my childhood, I've always related myself making drawings on the newspaper or already thrown away sheet of paper instead of making anything on a new sheet of paper. When I started painting, for me, it was much more pleasurable to paint a really nice image in already discarded, someone else's discarded paintings. That's how this idea of not discarding anything came to my experience. So I want to, so through my art, I tell all of the stories. I'm a storyteller. So I tell all of my stories. And because of all the stories are very near to my heart. So those are very, very, even if I say it tell it in a very humorous way, these stories are very close to my heart. So these are like my very fine emotions. So for me, which material can do justice to my emotions? So I look for diamond, I look for gold, I look for bronzes and the wood and expensive all other materials. But and when I try to hold my emotion into a garbage bag, that did the best justice to my fine emotions. So that gave the warmth and the love and the respect to my emotions. So in a both way, it ended up creating a perfect harmony. They both elevate each other's from wherever from their birthplace or from their known associations. They take their own life and they exist somewhere in somebody's home or some gallery or some other places. So my process is very interesting. I mean, to me, I really love that process. Some first thing for me, the urge to make something, that has to be there, number one. The desire, the thing that I want to make, it needs to come out, and there's always there's a long queue of that that needs to come out. And then I grab that, my plastic bags. The very first thing is always, just take when you open that trash bag, it has some function attached to it. Because of its factory look, the way, it's this rolled on top of something. So it is very much, it has a certain character in it. So first I have to change that. I tear it apart and I turned the whole thing into a volume, into a material. So that material somehow, give it a feeling that it is mine. So now it has no ready-made look to it. So it's like, if you're a ceramist, you take clay out of it and you knead it, and then it becomes your material. You cannot simply grab a lump and then start. So that's what I do with these trash bags. I change it into my material, and then I try and tie one knot to another knot to another knot. Those knots give it a dense form. And when it becomes dense form, then it can retain any kind of a shape. Initially, it's very difficult in the beginning because it can disappear any moment, because the less dense it is. So you need to stay focused. Where do I need to tie more knots? Okay, if I keep on tying knots, this will grow towards there. If it grows there, it will lose its balance. So where else do I need to? So it's all doing several things and keeping the one thing in mind where it's gonna go. At time, one is so much involved in the process that initial form that one has started, it changes into something else. And then something else more interesting comes out of it. So that one form that I started ended up changing into an installation. Several forms will come to attack. So it's very sort of, organic in that way, fluid in that way. It can grow into any direction. And it happens at times that it created and filled the whole studio. And then with the scissor, I started trimming it, and it came back to that one form. Most of my work is figurative. There are many reasons. I mean, one is this, that being an artist, I have to spend a lot of time, in my studio with myself. So, and I'm a very, sort of a person who love people, who love among company of others. But if I do that, I can't do justice to my work. So I have to, most of the time, like I literally, for weeks, I just see Ruby, my wife, or, no one else. So that's my choice. When I create all these people, so it seems like I'm creating my friends. And it's very interesting because these people, they do not emerge out of nowhere. When I make something, I have to feel that posture in me. That idea which was just there in my mind, now I can see it, I can hug my sculpture, it's just standing right in front of me. So it's a very, very fulfilling experience. To me, it seems like I'm shedding my skin, it's me, all those people somehow come out of me. And I was there and now I'm not there, my image is there, So, and I don't think if I create a cloud that will give me that same kind of, maybe it will, but, now, so far I think, it's not gonna give me that kind of a company that these people do when I'm among them in my studio working on another piece. How long does it take for me to finish one piece? It's a very interesting and tricky question. It's a very simple answer. Like a poem, you just sit there and you can write a poem in half an hour. Or, it can take months. For me, the essence, that what I want to convey through my work to myself. Most of the time I can see in me worst qualities which I would hate. So when I make my work, it's like a mirror to me. I see myself and I correct myself, because there's only one person that you can change in this world, and that's your own self.